Hello and welcome to the wonderful and exciting world of goose ecology. The Canadian goose is a beautiful and annoying creature to say the least. Both sexes of geese have a black-headed neck. The females are typically smaller than the males. The Canadian geese has been a part of North American history for hundreds of thousands of years. The Canadian goose is also native to North America and is distributed throughout the continent. Some have even reported seeing some as far as south as Mexico. Geese are also one of the many bird species that migrate south for the winter. Their migration period takes place from September to the beginning of November. They migrate so to maximize fitness and move to an area with plentiful resources. When geese migrate, they fly in a V shape to signal the transition from summer to autumn. Interestingly enough, the earlier migrants tend to stop less during their long migration compared to that of the latter birds. Some geese, however, do not migrate at all. They inhabit an area where resources are plentiful and sufficient during the winter. Temperatures are actually very mild in these areas. Patterns of Canadian geese traveling smaller distances during migration have also been occurring recently. It is believed that this is due to changing farm techniques and resulting in a sufficient supply of grain to sustain the birds. The Canadian geese can live in a large variety of temperatures across the continent. In the second year of life, the Canadian geese will seek out its mate. The Canadian goose is a monogamous species and will stay with their mate their entire lives. When mating season is commencing, the males will become extremely territorial of their young and residents. A warning is given to the approaching animal or human by releasing a hissing noise to signify aggression. The geese also lose their ability of flight during mating season due to molting of important aviation feathers. Their young are kept guarded by their parents until they are able to walk, swim, and find their own food. Geese are also very interesting when looking at their interpersonal relationships. Geese deploy a number of defense mechanisms in order to protect their young from predators. One such mechanism includes them hiding their nests in tall grasses during mating season. The male goose is in charge of protecting the nest and the young. However, the female does spend more time around the nest. The predators that geese need to worry about are not interested in the adults. No, they are interested in their young and nutritious eggs. An interesting attribute to their nesting behavior is their tendency to nest upon muskrat homes and beaver dams. It is theorized that they do so in order to have an easier nesting site. Some also argue that it allows them to be alerted to approaching predators easier. Canadian geese have become more and more involved with human populations over the years. In the earlier 20th century, the Canadian goose population had all but disappeared due to overhunting and poaching. However, in 1962, a small flock was discovered in Rochester, Minnesota. They then began a restoration and protection plan for the species. Their adaptability to human areas is evident through their wide distribution and successful broods. In recent years, however, they have become somewhat of an ecological problem. Other than them being a general nuisance, the birds have caused fatal crashes for airliners flying in North America. If a bird strikes a plane's engine, there is a chance that the power will be cut from the plane and bring the airliner out of the sky. Now, this problem is not as prevalent in society as one might think, but it does happen, and it is a problem. People have responded to these recent ecological crises by implementing a number of policies. Some of these policies include extending hunting season for the bird and even dismantling nests across the continent. Another widespread technique used would be handling the eggs. This has been a fascinating look into the wonderful world of goose ecology. Thank you.